Just a few short months ago, something strange began happening in and around the state of New Jersey. What began as a few reports of odd lights in the sky turned into a nationwide mystery, as orbs and drones were filmed and reported on a nightly basis. Social media platforms like X became flooded with images and videos of drone sightings. It felt like everyone in the US was gripping the edge of their seat as they watched the story unfold. I was one of those people, and I would bet that everyone in the country was, at the very least, a little intrigued. I had to know what was happening. Was there really drones being sighted in the night skies of New Jersey? Who did they belong to? Are we sure they're drones? What if they're interdimensional beings or secret military technology? Every night I would lay in bed swiping through X posts looking for updates on the phenomena. I scrolled endlessly. Video after video, photo after photo, claim after claim, and post after post. The mystery only seemed to deepen the more I tried to find answers. There weren't just a few possible explanations, there were dozens. There wasn't just a handful of images or videos, there were hundreds. It felt like a thriller playing out in real life and in real time. That was until it was explained. According to the National Security Communications Advisor, we assess that the sightings to date include a combination of lawful commercial drones, hobbyist drones, and law enforcement drones, as well as manned fixed-wing aircraft, helicopters, and even stars that were mistakenly reported as drones. Suddenly and quite abruptly, what was once a thrilling adventure unfolding in real time was nothing more than, well, hype and hysteria. Sure, there were immediately dozens of social media commentators challenging the explanation. However, the more I thought through it, the more I realized that such an explanation was probably more accurate than we might like it to be. It felt disappointing, like the biggest crash from a sugar rush you've ever had. It was over. The hype, the sensationalism, the innumerable nights staying up late to get the latest scoop, it was all gone. The phenomenon faded out of the cultural consciousness quicker than it had arisen into it. Although it was contentious, we did have an answer to the mystery, and that's all we really wanted, right? Despite having an answer, however, it felt like the magic of the mystery had faded away. The magic was the innumerable number of tales we told ourselves about what the answer to the mystery might be. We could imagine whole storylines playing out that could explain everything. It was magic because it was unknown. Yet there was an endless number of ways that we could imagine knowing it. As I continued to reflect on the whole ordeal, I realized that this wasn't the first time I had felt the magic of something fade away. When I was a kid, the tooth fairy made losing teeth worth it. I'll never forget the excitement of waking up in the morning and finding a whole quarter under my pillow where I had placed my tooth the night before. One night, my brother and I conspired to ask the tooth fairy for something other than a quarter. We both really wanted the ability to fly, so we wrote a little note asking for a favor instead of a quarter. The next morning, we woke up and discovered glitter under our pillows. After trying everything, including sprinkling the glitter on our heads, we decided there must have been a mistake. So the next time one of us lost a tooth, we would try again. This time, however, I didn't wake up to glitter or a magic potion under my pillow. Rather, I woke up to my dad snoring next to me. Turns out he fell asleep as he was trying to retrieve the tooth from under my pillow. It didn't take long for me to put two and two together, and the magic of the tooth fairy was gone. History is actually full of fascinating phenomena that went from being a magical mystery to having mundane explanations. For much of history, people believed that lightning was a divine punishment or the wrath of the gods. In some cultures, thunderstorms were seen as battles among gods, and lightning strikes were thought to be intentional and punitive. Experiments in the 18th century, including Ben Franklin's famous kite experiment, demonstrated that lightning was a natural electrical phenomenon. They showed that lightning was essentially an electrical discharge, not a divine intervention. In Eastern Europe, particularly during the 17th and 18th centuries, many people believed in vampires, undead creatures who rose from the grave to drink the blood of the living. When an outbreak of disease like tuberculosis or plague hit a village, it was not uncommon for bodies to be exhumed and found to be bloated or showing signs of decomposition, which fueled the belief in vampires. The vampire legends can now be understood through knowledge of disease transmission and decay processes. In the case of tuberculosis, it was common for victims to cough up blood, which led to a paleness and sometimes blood at the mouth, fueling the myth of blood-drinking undead. Decomposition often produces gases in the body, causing bloating and the pushing of fluids out of the mouth, which could appear as though the corpse was feeding. The presence of these physical symptoms, combined with ignorance of disease and decomposition, led to the vampire legends. The will-o-wisp is a myth about a flickering light seen at night, typically over marshy ground. It was thought to be the souls of the undead, mischievous spirits, or even the devil leading travelers astray to their doom. The will-o-wisp is actually caused by the ignition of gases emitted by decaying organic matter in marshes. These gases, primarily methane and phosphine, can spontaneously ignite in the presence of oxygen in the air, producing a faint, flickering light. The phenomenon is a natural chemical reaction, not a supernatural event, and it's known as bioluminescence or methane combustion. It's not just unexplained natural phenomenon that have mundane explanations either. Even the magic of exploration seems to have faded away. According to a 2019 article, 95% of the Earth's surface has been modified and explored by human civilization in some way. There is hardly a cave or chasm that hasn't been explored or discovered. Not even the most remote and isolated islands in the Pacific are hidden from Google Maps. It seems as though science and technological advancement have all but erased the magic of the world. The starry-eyed wonderment we all had as kids when we believed in the Tooth Fairy or Santa Claus faded much more quickly as we aged than it would have for kids hundreds of years ago. Perhaps the mundane world of rational scientific explanation has shortened the length of our imaginative childhood. The fantastical worlds that we believed in as kids are shattered much sooner these days than they would have hundreds of years ago. So why does it feel like the world is just a collection of mundane explanations? Why does it feel like the magic and mystery of the world is gone? One possible explanation is that we live in and are surrounded by a technological and scientific age. Our knowledge of the world is built on the centuries of discovery that came before us. One by one, our collective curiosity and insatiability for mystery has led to a fountain of knowledge and invention. Today, we're completely surrounded by it. We live in it like a fish living in water. Everything from cars, planes, trains, skyscrapers, bridges, ships, computers, video games, TVs, and smartphones were all, whether directly or indirectly, the result of someone's pursuit of mystery and magic. What's more, we can access our vast sum of knowledge anytime and anywhere. Almost every question we might ever have has an answer somewhere, and the internet brings those answers out of obscurity and into practicality. Perhaps the reason why the magic of the world feels so dead is because we live among a sea of mundane answers and a sea of mundane, ordinary things. The moment an unanswered question presents itself or a mystery rears its head, an answer or explanation is never more than a search bar away. John Coing, in his book, The Dictionary of Obscure Sorrows, captures this feeling with the word amonomia, which he defines as the fear that learning the name of something, a bird, a constellation, or an attractive stranger, will somehow ruin it. The modern world we live in can seem imposing, as though the peak of knowledge has either been reached or it's within our grasp. But we often underestimate how vast and complex the depth is of what we don't know. In 1889, Charles Duell, the commissioner of the U.S. Patent Office, is widely quoted as having stated that the patent office will soon shrink in size and eventually close because everything that can be invented has been invented. His statement was obviously false. The breadth of mysteries we have yet to uncover is perhaps larger and more expansive than the universe itself. So where does that leave us? How do we break free from the mundane to discover the magic of the world once again? Where do we even begin? The answer lies in what we define as magic. Is it the existence of mysteries yet unsolved, or is it the thrill of not knowing? The excitement of possibilities? Maybe it's both. The truth is there are still countless mysteries out there to be explained. The vast unexplored depths of the ocean, the secrets of ancient civilizations, and the complexities of the universe. But the way we interact with those mysteries has changed. In a world where information is instant and explanations often feel like they're just a click away, the unknown is no longer an uncharted frontier. It's a fleeting curiosity that we rush to resolve. The magic isn't gone. It's just harder to feel when the veil of mystery is so quickly lifted. The magic of the New Jersey drone sightings wasn't in what they turned out to be. It was in the time we spent imagining what they could be. It was the collective awe, the shared whispers of what if, that reminded us, if only briefly, what it feels like to stand on the edge of a mystery. It's not the answers we seek that define our experience of wonder. It's the stories we create around them. When the world felt bigger, when the maps weren't complete, and the stars were still realms of gods and myths, we had the freedom to imagine endlessly. Today, that freedom still exists, but it takes effort to reclaim it. We have to consciously slow down, to pause before reaching for an explanation, and allow ourselves to dwell in the beauty of not knowing. Maybe that's what we've lost. Not the mysteries themselves, but our willingness to savor them. As adults, we often forget that the magic we felt as kids wasn't about what was real or fake. It was about the stories we told ourselves, the worlds we built in our minds, and the adventures we had in them. That magic is still within all of us, if we let our curiosity lead the way. The next time you encounter something strange or unexplained, take a moment. Resist the urge to immediately uncover the truth and instead ask yourself, what else could this be? Let your imagination take the lead, and you may find that the magic of the unknown has been there all along, waiting for you to notice it. Because sometimes the greatest mystery isn't in solving a mystery, it's in embracing it. It's in the way we let the possibilities unfold, the way we share our wonder with others, and the way we remind ourselves that there's still so much to dream about. The magic of the world isn't dead. It's alive in every moment we choose to believe that the world is, in fact, bigger, stranger, and more beautiful than we could ever fully understand.